I'm getting my vaccination this weekend, so I'm all excited.
Wow.
Yay.
Yay.
So I'm excited to hear about, I want to share with everybody what I already know about you, because like we've known each other for about 4 years now.
Yes.
You really have had an interesting career. I mean, you've gone from living in Illinois to moving to Spain and really kind of transforming into one of the top colorists in Los Angeles. Like, can you kind of tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, of course I can. I revisit it a lot because my clients are always asking me about my journey, so I get to share with them, especially my new clients. But I'm from a small town in Illinois, and from the time I was 4 years old, I wanted to do hair. I used to play with my sister's Barbie beauty salon, which had the Barbie bust. Remember that?
Oh yeah, no, I remember those. They even
Yeah,
had makeup.
It had makeup. It had like a blue eyeshadow palette, blue and green, I think maybe pink, and then it had rollers.
Oh
Which
my
I never
gosh.
liked. I used to take the eyeshadow color palette and I would paint on the hair. So I was doing balayage way back before I knew what balayage was.
That's hysterical. At 4.
At 4.
I wanted to be a ballerina.
What's that?
I said, I just wanted to be a ballerina.
There's no time like the present, Danielle.
Well, yeah.
So that's I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I used to roll perms in the kitchen with my mom in the 80s. And, all that type of stuff. That's, it was just innate for me to want to be in that world with the girls, hanging out, making people pretty, making people feel good about themselves from a very young age. I'm a people pleaser. And I could tell very early on that people felt good about the way they looked.
I find that's like a common theme with all hairdressers.
Really?
Am I wrong? Like, it seems like every time, including myself, I got into the engineering, aside from loving the artistry of it, but it's always like that rush you get when you make someone feel really great.
Yeah, like when my clients cry when they're happy after their color, like I cry too. Like I get really involved in the whole process. You know what I mean? It's a very personal process.
Yes. So how did you go from there to Spain?
Well, I wanted to do hair, but I was bullied, and I was told, I'm gay, obviously, and I, grew up gay in Illinois in the 70s and 80s, and it was not okay then to want it to be gay, and I wasn't out, of course, that was not an option, but just me saying that I wanted to do hair, that indicated that I was gay, and people made fun of me for it, and I went against my wishes, and I studied communications in college. I went to college and got a college degree, and I did other things. I was very involved in government, and I was a page on Capitol Hill in Washington,
wow.
D.C. 17.
Shut up. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I worked on, I was the speaker's page. I was for Speaker Jim Wright, Democrat from Texas. And I was his personal page, and lots of incredible things happened that summer.
Wow.
Yeah. So I, very well-rounded, I would say. I've done a lot of different things. And then when it came time to do hair, I said, no, I'm going to go to college. Went to college, got a degree in communications, and I did my senior year abroad in Spain. I got a scholarship to do my senior year abroad in Spain. And I just fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the country and the people and its cultures, and I stayed there for 16 years. Long story 16. Short.
So what part of Spain were you in?
I was in Madrid. I lived in Madrid.
Oh wow.
I traveled all over. I went off into Barcelona.
So when you were there, you were doing hair in Spain, or were you just?
I was doing hair always on the side, part-time, going to people's homes. People would come to my homes. We do it on my balcony. Things like that. But I actually worked for the U.S. government in Madrid. I worked at the American Embassy for 4 years, and then I opened a restaurant. And
once upon a time, that was one of my fantasies when I was a kid, because I was an exchange student. So I had this idea I was going to work at the embassy one day, and instead I'm doing hair. So
yeah, life takes us on a different journey.
Yeah, it takes us on different journeys for sure. So when you were in Spain, I mean, I would imagine the hair is going to be completely different. I mean, was there always something that you found was like I mean, how long ago was this? Was it in the 90s?
No, I moved to Madrid. I moved to Los Angeles in 2008. So
Oh, okay.
I was in Spain from 92 to '08.
So did you find that like the trends that you were finding in Europe were completely different when you moved here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Much more fashion-based influence.
Fashion place in here in Los Angeles.
And no, much more like runway, Paris editorial kind of influenced in Spain.
Oh, really?
Very
Actually, I
sophisticated.
could picture that. Yeah.
Very sophisticated.
My aunt lives in Paris, and I often kind of marvel at the stuff that she has going on. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
So when you came here, I mean, what was the decision to come back here?
Well, I had, and I talk about this openly. I had had some problems with alcohol and drug abuse,
Wow.
and I came back here to go to rehab. And I'm very open about that because if I can help somebody else with my experiences, then that's why I talk about it so openly.
That is so awesome.
So yeah, I came back here and I went to rehab, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to do hair part time anymore. This has been the love of my life, and I'm going to do it full on. So that's why in 2010, I started doing hair full on.
So you just established yourself in LA, which I think I can only imagine the amount of people that think, okay, I'm just going to up my life and I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to make it big.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more than that, right?
It is a lot more than that. It takes a lot of determination and a lot of willpower, a lot of kind of innate talent, I think, too, and being in the right place at the right time.